Now, I know for some of you guys, you just found out you live in the same house as your wife.
Huh?
Me? I just found out I have 4 kids.
Wow.
Now, this video isn't about surviving the apocalypse. No, this is something much more intense. What am I talking about? You're stuck at home with your roommate, with your partner, with your family, spending more time with them than you thought possible.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Skill number 1, become a better communicator. Seriously though, a lot of us have never been around our families, roommates, or spouse this much and for so long of a time period with no end in sight. And this is why communicating clearly is so important, because you don't want to be hating the people that you are stuck with. My advice is don't judge, don't blame, and listen to people. So with judgment, we do this all the time. We judge a person before they open their mouth. We've already come to a decision. Try to, with conversations, come to it with an open mind. And when something happens, don't blame anyone. Accidents are going to happen. Problems are going to arise. But it doesn't help for you to blame, to actually state the obvious. And finally, listen. This is one of the things that so many of us have issues with. We don't shut the computer screen. We keep talking on our phone. Oh, we're multitasking. We're listening. No, we're not. We hear what they're saying, but we don't internalize it. Make sure to, hey, put the phone to the side. Get off the phone call. Shut the computer and really listen to the other person. By keeping things positive, not bringing up ancient history, and treating the people that you're with like VIPs, you're going to find that most problems are going to melt away. You're going to have clearer communication, and that right there is going to set you up for success. Next up, let's redefine what's necessary and then cut off the unnecessary. I know many of you guys have lost your jobs. Many of you are worried about your jobs. Many of you guys own companies and you're trying to figure out, how are we going to get more money into the business? What you want to do is look around, see where you can make adjustments. And the adjustments don't necessarily have to be huge for you to see an impact. I know in my household, we've simply turned down the thermostat. We're paying more attention to when we're turning lights off. Yes, it's a small amount of money that we're saving, but it's real money. Now, for some of you, yes, redefining what's necessary is going to be painful. It may be a bit embarrassing. You may realize we don't need 2 brand new cars and the car payments that go with them. Oh, do I really need to have this apartment by myself, or should I move back in with my parents? The next home survival skill, have an emergency plan. Now, depending on where you live, how many people live in your home, yeah, you should have an emergency plan. In case of fire, in case of tornado, what are you going to do? But if you thought through other scenarios, if you thought about what's going to happen if you do lose your job and you max out your credit cards, you use all of your savings, do you have a point in which you're going to pack up and you're going to drive back home from California to Indiana? The power of this emergency plan isn't the plan itself, but it's you going through the planning process. You speaking with your brother, speaking with your parents about, okay, is this something that I can come home? These are the conversations you want to have now versus when you're stuck in that situation and you're wondering, hey, is there someone that can maybe get me money so I can go back home? The next skill every guy needs, situational awareness. So let's break up your state of mind into 5 levels. We've got oblivious, we have aware, we have high alert, then we have fight, and then we have overwhelmed. Now, the only time I ever think it's cool to be oblivious is if you're at home, asleep in your bunker. You also don't want to spend a whole lot of time on high alert or fight, because that takes a lot of energy out of you and it leads to that 5th level, which is overwhelm. So where do you want to spend the majority of your time? Right here, being aware. Having situational awareness means that you understand what the normal baseline is, and then you're looking for things that are outside of that, anomalies. That's what grabs your attention. Now, one of the issues right now is that we've got a lot of disruption, and this is making a lot of things which normally would not be anomalies look like anomalies. So that's why for a lot of people, they are just low on energy and their nerves are frayed out because they're finding that, hey, I'm in this high alert phase a lot. I'm even fighting sometimes, and it's taken a lot of energy out of me. Quickly identify what is the base and then look for the anomalies, but try to maintain and try to stay in that aware status. So this next home survival skill, incredibly powerful, but most people don't ever talk about it because it's not sexy. And that is prevent accidents from happening by understanding their root cause. So this cup right here, we had cups like this throughout my house, until my 7-year-old daughter spilt boiling water all over her leg. Guess what? We're at the emergency room, 2nd-degree burns. It was horrible. But I vowed right then, this wasn't going to happen again. So I understood it happened because of basically the small base. So I went through and I got rid of all those cups. We brought in coffee cups that had a wider base. Guess what? We haven't had any spills. Throughout your home, there are many things that are just accidents waiting to happen. Whenever you're cutting vegetables, you're cutting the knife towards yourself. You're using a dull knife, which is more dangerous, in my opinion, than a sharp knife that gets the job done. When you're out there mowing the lawn, guess what? You're not even wearing eye protection. Save yourself a trip to the emergency room because you know they're going to be overtaxed, and prevent the accident from happening in the first place. And let's talk about first aid and medications. You need to have your basics. You need to have first aid kits. Because if you cut yourself, yes, you've never had an infection with a cut, but there's always a first time for something. And if you're not cleaning out that wound, if you're not treating it with an antiseptic, if you're not putting a bandage on it, again, you're setting yourself up for something you could have prevented, a trip to the emergency room when they're taxed out. And let's talk about something a little bit more serious. What happens if you get sick? Do you know how to break a fever? Do you have medicine? Do you have someone that can come check in on you? Do you have someone that can bring you food? Do you have someone who's willing to be in with you and to have the protective gear? Understand these scenarios are real. You want to make sure that you are prepared, and you want to make sure that you've got people, you've got a network that you can rely on in case it gets really bad. And let's talk about food. Gents, if you're going to survive at home, you need to learn how to cook. Now, you may know the basics, but now is the time for you to start doing the research to understand the difference that different pans have when you're cooking eggs, to understand the way different oils react to different levels of heat, the way meat reacts to heat. Oh, you've only got really tough meat? Well, did you know you could actually put it in salt, leave it there for about 20 minutes. The salt's going to go in and tenderize the meat, then cook the meat at a very high temperature. We're talking 400 to 500 degrees, and all of a sudden you're going to sear the outside of it, trapping the flavor. I didn't know any of this till I started researching it a few years ago, and all of a sudden, wow, my level of cooking and the food I was able to make with basic ingredients leveled up. And now let's talk about recycling. And I'm not talking about taking that plastic water bottle and putting it in the right container. What I'm talking about is when you're cooking, when you're using things, finding more uses for them. So let's take the cooking example. When you bake a chicken, you know all that juice that's down there, you can take it and make a broth, a very tasty broth that you can use in a vegetable chicken broth soup that's very healthy. All of a sudden you start realizing, wow, I don't have to throw this away. I can use this for something else. When you bake that chicken, use that aluminum foil, use it a few times to be able to trap in the heat. And by the way, did you know the shiny side should actually be in and around the chicken because it's going to reflect in and keep the heat in. Not everyone knows these things. So go out there and explore, find different ways to reuse things, to actually not throw things out and to keep them. Maybe repair that computer. Find that, oh, I can just upgrade the RAM. I've never tried this. Well, now is the time. And let's talk about the home skill of proper maintenance. First up, for yourself, are you using an electric toothbrush? Are you flossing your teeth? Guess what? You may not be able to go to the dentist for 3 months, for 6 months, for 9 months. And if that happens, do you want to go in and all of a sudden they point out, oh my goodness, you've got second level gum disease. You've got gingivitis. You've got all of these issues which could have been prevented if you had just taken better care of your mouth. And let's talk about your house. Do you know how to repair your air conditioner? Do you know how to repair your furnace? Well, one of the first steps to preventing a repair is actually to go in there and do the basic maintenance, to go in there and clean out all the stuff that's gunking up those appliances, those things that keep your house running. And I know a lot of you guys are not handymen, but understand with basic tools and all the great videos you can find here on YouTube, you can pretty much repair any appliance. Another skill you want to hone right now, your preparation skills. It can be something small, like making sure that your phone is always on charge and at 100%, so in case you have to run out the door, you've got a fully charged phone. Or maybe something a little bit more advanced, going into your vehicle and making sure that, okay, if I'm less than half a tank of gas, I top it up. I'm always ready to go. I've got, a basic toolkit. I've got a charger. I've got cables there so I could restart the vehicle. I know how to change out a tire. I'm prepared for that. Maybe something a bit more advanced, having a bug out bag. What's a bug out bag? It's simply everything you would need to grab within minutes if you had to leave your house immediately. Now, this next home survival skill I know a lot of you guys need right now, and that is how to cut your own hair. How to do it? Check out this video right here from my friend Alpha M. I think he did a great job. Aaron, I know for years, has been cutting his own hair. Yeah, he goes to a high-end salon sometimes, but when he needs to get it done, he can cut his own hair. So I think he did a great job with this tutorial. Go check it out.